What's up, YouTube? My name's Nick. This is Tractors and Stuff. And in this video, we're going to be starting a new project. I mentioned in the last video with the grapple installed when when I went and picked it up, that I had some projects planned for it. And in this project, we're going to be putting in a playground right behind me. So all of this forest here that you see is going to be grappled out of here, smoothed out, leveled out. And I'm going to apologize right now. If it looks like I'm looking off to the side over here, it's because I'm looking at the screen on my phone, looking at myself talking. The camera is actually over here. So I noticed that in the last video that I did where I was using my cell phone, that I wasn't actually looking into the camera, I was looking into the screen. It looked kind of weird. So I'm going to try my best to be looking into the camera instead of over at the screen. So, and I apologize. I am using my cell phone right now because my batteries for my drone and for my other camera are currently dead. So, but I got some other things to do before I start actually using those to film. So I wanted to get out here and show you guys this part first before doing all that, making a bunch of noise. So let's flip around. It's going to be shaky and the audio quality is not that great. I do apologize. But let's flip around and let me show you what we got going on here. So right behind me here, you can see this stake in the ground. Now my wife put this in the ground probably 5 or 6 months ago. And if you look right down here, right there, you see another one. And I don't know how far away that is from this point to that point, but that's the border. And it's downhill. I got the camera level about now. You can see it's pretty steep. It's a pretty good slope. She also said that she put some stakes in there somewhere. We're going to go walk it here in a second and try and find them. And that's going to accommodate that trampoline. And we want to build like a swing set and have like a play area for my son to play in. So I already came through just testing the grapple, see how well it's going to do. Playing with it. I do need to swap around the controls a little bit. But I came through here with the grapple. Just see how well it would do. We got a bunch of rain last night, so everything's nice and moist. Okay, so there is the other marker. I remember I cut down some trees in here that were dead years and years ago. It's a nice little trail through here. So we're going downhill again, looking for the other marker. Here's a slash from those trees I cut down. And I'm not seeing it. I'm right in line with the other one. Should be right around here somewhere. And I'm just not. My dog found me. I'm just not seeing that other marker. So it must be around this area somewhere, right at this slash pile. Huh. Oh well. I'm sure we will remeasure it several times. But this is the area that we're going to be taking out using that grapple, and I'm going to go hook up to the backhoe. One thing I need to do, sorry, I'm looking at the camera now. One thing I need to do is change the controls on the third function kit. Currently, the way it's set up, the up portion of the switch closes the lid on the grapple, and the bottom side opens it. And one of them, I think, has got like a float function because it wants to continue putting pressure on, I think it's closing, and maybe it's opening. One of the ways it's wanting to keep that the pressure on the hydraulics. I can hear it, like, oh, you know, it's pushing on the hydraulics, and I click down, you know, the other way, and it turns that off. So I think it's like a float, or maybe not necessarily a float, but just like a detent on electrical, you know, valve, which I didn't know was a thing. So it sounds like my neighbor fired up the hill here, fired up a piece of equipment. He's got a big old Zoom Boom, great all extendable boom forklift thing up there. I think that's what that is. So I'm gonna get out of the woods here and go change around that control and take the 3-point linkage off, hook up to the backhoe. I'm not gonna film any of this. For the switch, I might post some pictures, I don't know yet. I'm just gonna take them, the 2 switches, and just verse them. I think that'll work just fine. And then I'm gonna go hook up to the backhoe, and because, like I say, there's some stumps in here and whatnot that I'm gonna need to get out. And then I'm gonna come through here like a wrecking ball, and I'm hoping to have the drone batteries charged up by then and my big camera charged up by then. And I don't know what I'm gonna do for audio yet. I really need to get a shotgun microphone or something like that. But I'm not gonna wear a lapel microphone. This one's going to be more like I need to get to work and get projects done. I wanted to get this done in June, and it's now September, so I'm a little bit behind schedule. So, but I was waiting to do this project until I had the grapple. So, all right, I got to get to work.
A few moments later.
Oh wow, here goes my hair again. So let me tell you guys what just happened. I came up, I brought the tractor up here to the shop and started working on the wires, swapping around. Let me flip it back around here. I was working up in here and on this switch because, again, it was backwards. While I was working on it, all I did was take the top, unplug it, take the bottom, unplug it, swap them in there, and put it back together again. But I must have touched the connections because I popped the fuse. A hot fuse right over here on the other side of the battery there, right there. And so I changed it out, and then I just wanted to check and make sure that the grapple was going the right way, up and down. My neighbors are really making noises up there. I think they're building a shed. So anyway, I reach in here and I turn the key on, wait a couple seconds. I went to turn the key over and nothing happened. And the engine wouldn't start. So I kind of went into panic mode a little bit. And the first thing I did was get it off the pad here. That's where it was. My wife's car is right there, and I was blocking her in. So I hooked up, put everything in neutral on the tractor, hooked up a chain to the back of it, and used my pickup and drug it down the road here. Just parked it over there. Kind of a long walk from the shop, but I'm not going to be blocking anybody in. Fortunately, I left the bucket up just like that. I didn't need to try and jack it up and chain it up or something like that. So I set to working on it. First thing I did was start with the obvious. After I calmed down a little bit, I just was in kind of like panic mode, so I needed to take a breather for a second, think about what I need to do, and do it. So I checked all the fuses under the dash. Everything's fine. I checked the battery. Everything seemed fine. Then just at it, like something clicked inside my head and said, check that ground. And that ground is actually loose. Somehow, some way. I mean, it was just barely loose, but I could like wiggle the wires. So I took it apart, cleaned it up, the wire wheel, and put it back together again, and it fired right up. So This is exhausting. You know, all I need to do is swap two little wires around, and all of a sudden, it just like, yeah. So that was like an hour ago, and I need to, well, that's, I started this project was like an hour ago. So swapping 2 hours took me about an hour, which is just insane. So next thing I need to do, take the 3-point off. That's the clips I use to pull the tractor away from the house. I need to take the 3-point off, go hook up to the backhoe, and then finally get to work. It's already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something. So I didn't want to be tearing apart the tractor today. But it does open and close the right way now. Yay. And I can't reproduce that problem where it was like sticking. So I don't know. We'll see. The hoses up here, I realized something. I can't really secure these hoses to the blue loader part here because this part rotates, right? It dumps and curls. So I need to have this slack and I need to have it kind of loose. So I think it's going to take up a little bit when I take this and turn it sideways. You know, it's kind of what I'm thinking. Either twist it right here, which I think will be the easiest thing, heat it up and just like twist it 90 degrees. This is probably exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that right now today for this project. I think that they'll be okay, kind of protected behind the grapple here. They don't really hang down that much, as you can see right now. It's well above the bottom of the grapple, and that's kind of where I have it, where I'm going through the dirt from my limited amount of time, like the 10 minutes I played with it. So anyway, I gotta get back to work. Well, I just got off the tractor and I'm gonna spin it around and show you what I did. There it is. Flew the drone through it just a few minutes ago. I'll put some of that footage in here. But let me tell you, this thing is a beast. I mean, I went logging with it. I was popping big old trees out. And by big trees, I mean, that's probably a 5.5, 6 foot, 6-inch diameter tree right there that I popped out. But I push it over a little bit and I would pop the root out just a little bit. I'd get underneath it and just start working it up, and I was able to pop them out pretty easily. My son's up there playing. So I walked around a little bit. I have not seen any damage, not to the grapple for sure, but so far nothing to the tractor either. No bent cylinders, no bent brackets, nothing major. I did find, this is kind of cool. Right up here is this hidden rock. And I think that's really super cool. So we're going to try and implement that into our design for the playground too. Something for a kid to climb up on or sit on or something like that. Had no idea it was here. As you can see, it's pretty large already. And I never did find that other marker. But I gotta shut it down. I gotta go make dinner. So this is gonna be the end of part 1. I do have a stump right here. The grapple actually moves a lot of dirt too. You can see right there's our corner marker. It's gonna go down here to about where the dog's at. So I got some stumps in here. I'll need to try and pop out or use the backhoe. I did discover that having that backhoe on it isn't all that great. That's a lot of weight that's hanging on the back that takes some of the pressure, it seems like, off the front. And I wasn't thinking about the weight when I was planning on doing this project. So, but a little bit more to do here. I'm gonna move this little sapling. This tree I think is gonna stay, and that tree is gonna come out. And I think that's it for the big trees. That one I tried to push on a little bit and I just kind of gave up on it. It's really big. It's like a 7 or 8 inch maybe. So, and I couldn't really get under it very well, and I pushed on it and I wiggled it, but it wasn't wanting to come out. Playing in the dirt. So if you haven't done so already, camera's kind of dirty. Wow. So if you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And stay tuned for part 2 of this project, where I'm going to continue to work on it. I may not get any more footage of me ripping out all the shrubs and using the grapple. But, you know, this is going to be a kind of a fun project to film. And we're going to bring in a bunch of bark and stuff, like I said. So it's kind of going to be a fun project. And, you know, looking at it now and how deep it is, we're talking about actually doing like a tiered system, where we'll have like the trampoline and stuff on one tier and like down below the swing set, or vice versa. So we just got to get all the brush out of here first, and then we'll figure out what to do from there. So we do have a plan, but the plan is all kind of loose and kind of dependent on what we find. So alrighty, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.